programming in Java. We'll start off by installing all the necessary tools to build Java applications. Then you're going to learn about the basics of Java. You will learn how Java code gets executed. You will learn how to build simple algorithms. And throughout this course, I'm going to share with you lots of tips and shortcuts from my years of experience. I'll teach you how to write good code like a professional developer. So by the end of watching this course, you will have a solid foundation in Java and be ready to learn about advanced Java features. I've designed this course for anyone who wants to learn Java. If you're a beginner, don't worry. I'll make Java super simple and hold your hands through this entire course. You're not too old or too young, you will write your first Java program in minutes. My name is Mosh. I'm a software engineer with 2 decades of experience, and I've taught over 3 million people how to code and how to become professional software engineers. I have a coding school at codewithmosh.com where you can find plenty of courses that help you take your coding skills to the next level. I hope you'll stick around and learn this beautiful and powerful programming language. And now a word from this video's sponsor. As someone who runs an online business, I cannot stress enough the importance of staying safe online, which is why I was so excited when Dashlane reached out to me. If you don't know, Dashlane is the password manager and VPN recommended by Apple and Google, and it's a fantastic safeguard for keeping your information secure. It's completely free to use for your first device, so head over to dashlane.com/mosh to give it a go. If you want to upgrade to the premium to get VPN or dark web monitoring, you can use the promo code MOSH to get 10% off. Sign up for Dashlane today and keep yourself safe online. Now back to the course.
पैनाडोल नाइट दर्द से दे आराम और रात को दे पुरसुकून नींद ताकि आपकी सुबह का आगाज हो खुशगवार और ताजा दम। पैनाडोल नाइट पर मेरा भरोसा।
कोका कोला बॉटल पे दिए गए QR कोड को स्कैन करें और एक्सपीरियंस करें कोक स्टूडियो। होम पेज पे
In this Java tutorial, we're going to download and install the necessary tools to build Java applications. So open up your browser and search for JDK download. JDK is short for Java Development Kit, and it's basically a software development environment for building Java applications. It has a compiler, it has a bunch of code that we can reuse, it has a Java runtime environment, and a bunch of other stuff. So over here, you can see this page on oracle.com, Java SE, which is short for Java Standard Edition. Click on this. Now over here, click on this icon. Now on this page, you can see Java Development Kit for various platforms like Linux, macOS, and Windows. Here I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to download this DMG file over here. Now before we do this, first we need to accept the license agreement. All right, now let's download the DMG. When we open this, we're going to see this package. Let's double click this. And here we see this installation wizard. It's super easy. Just click continue and install. You have to enter your computer's password. And then, all right, done. Beautiful. So we can move this to trash. Now, the next piece of software we need is a code editor. There are so many code editors for building Java applications. The popular ones are NetBeans, Eclipse, and IntelliJ. In this Java course, I'm going to use IntelliJ, but if you have a favorite editor, feel free to use that to take this course. That's perfectly fine. So let's search for IntelliJ download. All right, you can see download IntelliJ IDEA. Click on this link. Over here, download the Community Edition, which is absolutely free, and it's more than enough for this course. So, download. All right, now let's drag and drop this onto the Applications folder. Beautiful. All right, we've installed all the necessary tools to build Java applications. So next, we're going to look at the anatomy of a Java program. In this Java tutorial, we're going to look at the anatomy of Java programs. The smallest building block in Java programs are functions. A function is a block of code that performs a task. As a metaphor, think of the buttons on the remote control of your TV. Each button in programming languages are exactly the same. For example, we can have a function for sending emails to people. We can have a function for converting someone's weight in pounds to kilograms. We can have a function for validating users' input and so on. Now let's see how we can code a function in Java. We start by specifying the return type of that function. Some functions return a value like a number, a date, time, and so on. Other functions don't return anything. So the return type of these functions is void. Void is a reserved keyword in Java, and that's why I've coded that in blue here. Now, after the return type, we have the name of our function. So here we should give our function a proper descriptive name, like send email. This name clearly identifies the purpose of this function, okay? Now, after the name, we have a pair of parentheses, and inside this parentheses, we add the parameters for this function. We use these parameters to pass values to our function. For example, our send email function should have parameters like who is the receiver, what is the subject of this email, what is the content of this email, and so on. Now, in this tutorial, we're not going to worry about parameters. We'll look at them in the future. Now, after the parentheses, we add a pair of curly braces, and inside these braces, we write the actual Java code. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to here is that in Java, we put the left brace on the same line where we define our function. In other programming languages like C#, it's more conventional to put the left brace on a new line, but we don't do that in Java. So we put the left brace on the same line where we define our function. Now, every Java program should have at least one function, and that function is called main. So main is the entry point to our programs. Whenever we execute a Java program, the main function gets called, and the code inside this function gets executed, okay? Now, these functions don't exist on their own. They should always belong to a class. So a class is a container for one or more related functions. Basically, we use these classes to organize our code, just like how products are organized in a supermarket. In a supermarket, we have various sections like vegetables, fruits. It's main. So this is how we define a class in Java. We start with the class keyword, then we give our class a proper descriptive name, and then we add a pair of curly braces. Now the functions that we define in between these curly braces belong to this class. And more accurately, we refer to them as methods. So a method is a function that is part of a class. In some programming languages like Python, we can have a function that exists outside of a class. So we call it a function. But when a function belongs to a class, we refer to it as a method of that class, okay? Now, in Java, all these classes and methods should have an access modifier. An access modifier is a special keyword that determines if other classes and methods in this program can access these classes and methods. We have various access modifiers like public, private, and so on. Now, most of the time we use the public access modifier, so we put that in front of our class and method declarations. So this is the basic structure of a Java program. At a minimum, we have a main class, and inside this main class, we have the main method. Now, you might be curious why we have a capital M in the name of this class. Because in Java, we use different conventions for naming our classes and our methods. To name our classes, we use the Pascal naming convention, and that basically means the first letter of every word should be uppercase. In contrast, to name our methods, we use the Camel naming convention, and that means the first letter of every word should be uppercase except the first word. So that is why we have a capital M in the name of this class. All right, now that you understand the anatomy of a Java program, let's create a new Java project and see all these building blocks in action.
Technocanon 30 series, designed by Louis Wee.
In this Java tutorial, you're going to learn how to write and execute your first Java program. So let's open IntelliJ IDEA. Here on the home screen, let's create a new project. All right, on the left side, select Java and make sure Project SDK is not blank. So earlier we downloaded JDK or Java Development Kit version 12. That is why JDK version 12 is selected here. If you don't see that, make sure to select it from this drop-down list. All right, now let's click on Next. On this page, select Create Project from Template. So we're going to create a command line application, which is an application that we can run from the command line. It doesn't have a graphical. Building an application with a graphical user interface is very complicated. So for now, we're just going to build command line applications to learn Java properly. Once you learn Java properly, then you can learn about building desktop or mobile applications with Java. All right, now let's click on Next. On this page, we have to give our project a name. Let's call it Hello World. Now over here, you can see the location of this project. So it's inside the IDEA projects folder. Now right below that, you can see the base package, which is set to com.codewithmosh on my machine. On your machine, it's probably going to be com.package. What is this? Well, earlier we talked about classes and methods. I told you that a class is a container for related methods. So we use classes to organize our code. By the same token, we have a concept called package, and we use a package to group related classes. So as our applications grow, we're going to end up with hundreds or even thousands. Properly organize these classes into packages. Now, by convention, the base package for a Java project is the domain name of your company in reverse. So my website is codewithmosh.com. That project to com.code have an actual domain registered on the internet. This is just a way to create an. So now every class that we create in this project will belong to this package. We're going to talk about packages in more detail in the future.